flashing. Alright, so the way this is gonna work is I'm gonna have property managers all over the place. I'm gonna be in here. Village spawner. Managers. And the managers are simple. They're just gonna be a simple actor. And the actor is going to be player farm manager. And we're also going to have one for the for town. But this one is going to be a bit more. Did you do a thing? Why are you flashing stuff? This one's going to be a bit more dynamic, I suppose. So we're going to be town manager. I'm going to open both of these bad boys. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to need a struct. Village struct. Because we're going to need some data. And so the way this is going to work is when you enter the bounds of a town, the town's going to spawn in all those villages. It's also going to keep track of the villages that each town should have, and I guess random NPCs that'll be personalized to the player. But each town would probably have permanent NPCs that will always be somewhere in the area. But also, it will allow me to make changes within the town, and then I can save those changes and tell it so that once you load the game, like, okay, so what does the town look like? You know what I mean? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go blueprint, and I think we're gonna need a structure. Town structure. Town structure, and I suppose the other one would just be farm structure. Because the farms will be different to the towns. Maybe. For now, let's go with town. We'll open both of these. We're gonna need both. I need to close some shit. We're not gonna. Oh, we might work on building. We're not gonna work on items, so that can close. That can close. These can close. All of this may still be. All these can close. Anything related. Oh, I might need the quick crafting. Action. Close that. That's gonna be needed. That's gonna be needed. That's definitely going to be needed, and I need that more prominent. Go over there. You might not be needed. Actually, you probably will be needed. Okay, so what are we going to need in these bad boys? So in the town, I'm going to want... The most important thing, actually, is going to be the name of the town. Town name. This one is just going to be buildings. I haven't actually made anything for this. Okay, so there is build data, content structure. I just gotta go over my information real quick. It's a crop data where we might need crop data, but I think that's for the farms, so we're not gonna add it just yet. But villager structure, we're gonna need this. So in the town, we're gonna have villager structure. It's gonna be an array. And this will be the town population. So every time we get a new villager spawned in and we save them, we're going to add them to this town. Okay, One thing we haven't built yet is buildings. So maybe we should work on that, but it's not necessary for this. We can add them later, but for now, I might just add this. Have I got a building? I got build data. I also don't want to call them structures because that would get confusing. Structure. How about dwellings? I need a goddamn thesaurus. You know what I mean? Just call them buildings and hope I don't get it confused with build data. Buildings information. Let's open that up. So this is basically just gonna be building name. We'll make that a name. What am I doing there? So we've got the building name. Occupants, and that'll just be village data. Make that an array. Building, maybe profession. Like I said, we haven't really started this, so we don't need to worry about this. But I will add it to the town structure. Buildings information, so that if we make a building, then when we load the game, obviously we want the buildings that we've built to stay there. So we'll say buildings within town. Yep. Buildings within town, we'll put the... Yeah, that's fine. Because I'm just thinking about the locations. So when we spawn them in, we're going to get the locations down. But obviously, this will be put in here. So it's not there. So that's fine. I think that's fine. This should be fine for now. Because all we're going to need is the town, the villages in the town, and the buildings within the town. That's all we should need, right? What else are we going to need? Maybe we do like quests and whatnot. We can add to that later. So with the farm, we'll go farm name. Make that a name. We'll go crops in farm. We'll make that crop data. What information do we have in crop data? Let me have a look at that. So we've got a lot of information. That's fine. Yeah, because we do want all this information. Yep, that's fine. So that does hold a lot of information with it, so we don't really need to add to that. But also what I might do is add one more, because on our farms we're going to want some stashes. And the stashes, since I suppose they might change, that it could be a whatever, you know, it could be boxes, could be chests, who knows what it's going to be. We're just going to have actors. And so long as, yeah. And the actors, they will be called stashes. Actually, one more. Because we do want to save the information with these bad boys. So this will be stash structures. So with the stashes, we're gonna have, yeah, we'll make a few things here. First of all, the name of the stash, you know, maybe you can personalize it, maybe it's just a certain chest type, you know, whatever. Stash name. Yeah, we'll keep stash name. Actor. Stash actor, and we'll make that an actor class so we know what we are spawning in. We're going to need the stash location so that once we save it, it will keep in mind, hey, this stash should be here. And what else we're going to need? With farms, maybe we'll have farm hands and like animals, so maybe those. But what I'm thinking is I'm not going to add those to the farm manager specifically. I might add that to, what I'm going to need is buildings. And the buildings, yeah, so what we're going to do is come back to the buildings, because the buildings information, we're going to add one more. Animal information, because the animals are going to come with the buildings, so when we spawn in the buildings, then the buildings will keep this information with them, and then the buildings themselves will spawn in the animals. That's how I think we're going to make this work. Did I make in, I don't have an animal information thingy. Animal information? It was a building thing. Buildings information. What's your issue? Building information. Is it because I got... Oh, of course, because this is the building. Yeah, buildings. Okay, so with the animals data, we're just gonna say Boolean is fine, because I haven't made anything for the animals, and I'm not sure how I'm gonna set that up just yet. So, I mean, I don't know how I'm gonna set up any of this. I'm making up all of this shit, so as I go. But buildings, stash structures. I thought this was farm, so we can ignore that. Okay, yeah, I think that's all we need. All we need to know is, oh, no. The most important value of them all. Yeah, we just make it a content structure. That'll do fine. FR slots, it's all the same shit. Yeah. So I think with stash, that's all we need, right? The name of the stash, what actor we're spawning, its location, and what is in it. I'm pretty sure that's all we need. So we come back to the farm, stashes. We're gonna swap this to stash structures. So now every time we save, every time we spawn something in, we want it to save to this and then save to the thingy. I guess on the main menu, I want to name the farm structure. But over here, what we're going to do is go actors, managers, the player farm manager is going to be over here, and the town manager will be up here. We'll leave that maybe about there. This will be the town, and this will be the farm. Okay, so with the player farm manager, the name, I immediately lost it. That's what I was worried about. There's gotta be somewhere I can find it nice and easy. So let's not stick it in a bunch of trees, because like this I can't see the stupid thing. Above the trees. Okay. Well, this one, if we come here, we're gonna go as a couple variables. Obviously the first one, it's just going to be all those variables that we just made. So how are we gonna set this one up? Name, we'll make this a string. Town name. False. Okay. No, you're not false. You are Sanctuary. That is the name of the town. Okay. We're gonna make these expose on spawn, instance editable. And we're gonna make another variable. This is gonna be town structure, and this will be town information. So the town information, we're going to get this, and when we begin play, this one breakdown 10, yeah, break. We'll set you. And we're going to break you again. It's just split. Actually, on begin play. Yeah. So instead of setting this, what we're going to do is, I think we're gonna get the game instance, cast to the game instance, and we're gonna need some information that the game instance currently does not have. So game instance, yes, you. We're going to need to add a couple things. So villages, I'm thinking we're going to delete you. Town structure, and this is going to be a list of towns. going to be a list. So there's going to be multiple towns, and as we change them, that's fine. What is this? Towns. Oh yeah, towns and town structure. Let's make towns information. Yeah, we're gonna leave this as is, but all we're gonna do is we're gonna preset some. So by default, we're gonna have one named sanctuary, and that will be the main town. So anytime we update sanctuary, what we're gonna do is like we'll come here and we'll set it here. Sanctuary. I know I already did that, but yeah. So come here, we can set it outside, and that's fine. Just by default, I want this blank. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get town's information, and we're going to break that. We're going to, for each tab. No, that's not what I want. Let's get our town's information, and that's what we're going to do. Yeah, sorry, a bit slow. For each, we'll say for each with break. And we're going to say, we're going to get our town name. And once we find ourselves, u equals u. Once this is true, then we will town information. We just set u. That should work. But for the sake of being consistent, set, and set, and then we will break. And that way, we might add a delay. We're just going to add a little bit of a delay to give it some time for everything else to load in. So maybe 0.5 seconds. 5 seconds for the game instance. Half a second for the game instance to load all of its data, and then we can start pulling data from the game instance. So we'll save all the information to there, and each town will look for its own name in the list from names, and then it will get its own data. And when it comes to saving, we're going to do the same thing. So if we go to the game instance, we're going to say, let's just make it custom. Let's just say update town data. So anytime there's an update, we will make a set. Okay, so what are we going to be changing here? We want to break this. No, we want to make this. No, we don't want to do that. Okay, so we'll have the town information. Yeah, town data. Okay, yeah, Yep. I've got it. For each. We might make this its own function actually, just because. It might get messy out here with all the saving, so I'm gonna make functions. Update town. So we'll come back here and we're gonna want you. So we'll get the town structure and this will have the name. With the for each loop we'll break. Updating town name. We'll get you, and let's just say equals. I literally just did this. I don't know why my brain is struggling. Basically doing the same thing. We're gonna find our town in the array of towns, and then if we find it, then we're gonna get the town's information, and we will break you. Well, what is my, what's going on? Yeah. Sorry. We'll get the index. We'll say promote the local variable. Updating town index. So what we will do is we will say true, update you, and then break, and then we'll say get. Yeah, I think we want a reference. I always forget which is which. Yeah, we're just gonna say get. We'll use the reference. We'll get the town that we are updating, and we will say no wait. We want to set array element. That's what we want to do. You know what? We're not doing that. We're gonna need you. So maybe I do need to sleep tonight. We're just gonna set the array element. The index is gonna be whatever that is, and this will be whatever that is. No, this will be whatever this is. Updating town data. Simples. We'll get this. We'll say updating town data. Slap that in there, and then we will break. That'll work. So when we call update town to the game instance, and then once you're completed, we'll just say save game. Yeah. So anytime we update anything, it will tell this to update its own information, and then it will save the game. And now we're going to make a couple changes to the save game. So first of all, town's information, we're going to need that. Get town, oh, also the save game itself. Save load, that's not you. Sanctuary save. We're going to need one more. Be no, we had problems with that. We're not doing that again. Towns data. Should just be towns, and it's going to be an array. Excellent. Okay, so we'll get towns information. So anytime we save, we just want to update you and then save it. Now where's me load game instance? Gonna come out here, we're gonna say, hey, get the town's data. And then we're going to do the same. Plus all this. So that should be set up. Yeah. Should be able to get that. That's fine. I think I can close this. No. Before I do, I'm just gonna make one function. The function's going to be add villager to town, and this is purely going to be villager to add. Make it a villager character. Villager structure, get you, break. I'm gonna make one as well. So town name stays the same, buildings will stay the same, but we're gonna want to make one of you. So town population. What is that? Villager structure. Oh yeah, villager to add. It's not a character, it's a structure. Because the villager character has the structure in them. Okay, so we're gonna get our town population. We're gonna add one. What are you doing to your brain? When I add one. Yeah, that's what we want to do. But we don't want to reset this. I think that's exactly what we want to do. If I'm not mistaken, this is gonna work, because it feels like that's gonna break. It's not gonna work properly, you know what I mean? town. I think what I'm gonna do is, can I add you? I can't really add you. That's my issue. I feel like I'm missing something super obvious right now, and it's really bugging me. I can't break this. But if I set this like this, yeah, it'll have this and it'll have this, but this is obviously gonna be set to be like null, you know? Unless we do these separately and not all at once. Actually, what we might do is, because we've got all of this data, maybe these should be like separate. Yeah, I feel like these should all be separate. So we'll condense it down into this, but we're gonna make these individuals. Town information. Town population is gonna be a bunch of villages. So we're gonna make promote the variable. Excellent. So buildings within town, town population. We want you at the bottom. Excellent. So what we're gonna do is we're not gonna break you. What we're gonna do is we're gonna get the town population. We are going to add this guy to the town population. Town, set you, we will break you. You will be the town name. You will be set to whatever buildings we have in the town, and you will be set to the town population, which is now newly updated. And then we will say I feel like we're going to be talking, we're going to be communicating with this quite a fair bit. So let's promote you to a variable and just say game instance, which is there. Yep, that'll do. Okay, so yep, we're setting all these, but also what I want to do is once this completes, we're going to get the town information, which is now here. We're going to split you, and we're going to get the buildings within the town, and we'll set you. And we will get the town population, which is you. And now that we've got you and you, we will be able to spawn all of these in. So we'll probably do, yeah, we'll do that after. Add villager to town. So where am I? Town manager, no. Back to you. What am I doing? I completely just lost the plot. Town manager. Okay. So once we add, we add, blah, 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 and then we're gonna get the game instance, and we're just gonna say, update the town, and the town is obviously going to be us. And we're just gonna make one more, which will be the same. Add building to town. But I also want to make one more, which will be because there's going to be two things we're gonna want to be able to change and update. The first being we want to add a villager to the town, and the second is if we change something about that villager, we just want to update that villager specifically. So update building, we're just adding a building for now, and adding is going to be the exact same. Copy paste, only instead of you, it'll be you. Building to add. So we'll add building. Yep, that'll update you, that'll update you, that'll update you, and then instead of you in the sanctuary, I'm gonna make a update. In update town, we can call the exact same structure update town. It's doing the same thing. We're getting all the same information. We can just say update town. Okay, so this is fine. Any update we do to the town, we'll just say update town, and it'll get all that data. We don't need to worry about this. Sanctuary. No. What's my town? Town manager. Okay, so don't need to change anything about that. That's going to be the same. This one I think I need to update right now as well. So what do I have in the building structure? We're not even going to work on the town just yet, so I might leave this one and just go hang out on the farm for a bit, because I got to get the farm working before I do anything else. So the town, you can hang out here for a bit. Alright, farm. Let's get some work done. Add new stash. Add worker. Also, sanctuary game instance. We're gonna make update town. Update farm. I feel like we're gonna do probably the same. Because the farm has a name too. farm, crop, and stash. But you don't have workers. I didn't need workers for now. If I want workers later, I'll add workers. So we're not going to add workers. We're just going to add new crop. So anytime we add a crop, crop data. Crop to add. Simply put, we're just going to have a function variable, and this variable is going to be an array. Yes. Add the crop. We're also going to need one for remove. And this one will be a bit more specific. This one will need to be break. I don't have anything technically to specify you, do I? Crop name. I think the crop plot actor. That's. I might have to add one more, and it'll be like the plot actor. Yeah, I'm gonna need to add one more thing. Because I'm gonna need to know exactly which plot I'm talking about, because it needs to find itself in the array, and then yeah. So when I load them in, I can add that data in, you know, once it loads, give it that reference. But for now, it's not gonna work. So we're gonna go back to crop data. No. Okay, I need sleep. Crop data. This is like 99% gonna crash, and if it does, then I'm calling it a night. Plot actor. Actor. I need to know the exact actor I am speaking to. Okay. No crash? Alright. Can't complain with that, I suppose. With the crop plot, that's why I didn't get rid of you. When this is all getting set, where do you get set? Do you get set in here? No. Then to place, build placements, No, it's back to you. Determine plant. It's probably in here, right? Yeah, it's right here. Thing is, I haven't made a reference to I need to make a default so that once it gets created, I'm just gonna say that construction script. So when I get the crop data, yeah. So when this gets created, I think we're gonna set most of this. We should set a default. And the default for this one is going to be a new variable. My own reference. This is going to be expose on spawn, instance editable, and that's going to be you. So anytime, these things will only ever exist by being spawned in. And so every time it spawns in, I'm going to tell it that it is itself. I'm going to call this when I spawn them in. The world location will always just be get world transform. That's always going to be that one, so that's fine. Box you, wherever you are. These can all be empty because we're going to set these all later. Crop name none because we're not going to have one. All this is irrelevant. The only things we need to know for this is where are we and what are we. And now that we have that in the construction script, we can come back to the game instance. Is it update farm? Crop plot? I completely forgot why I needed to set that up. Would have been on player farm. Yeah, okay. So remove. Remove. Crop to add. What is wrong with me? Farm crops. What we're going to do is we're going to do you. We're going to say for each. We don't want to do the crop name because each crop is going to have its own individual. Like we could have multiple crops with like the same crops. So we'll break you. Yes. Now we're just going to say if you equal the one that we are deleting, then we will remove. Do I want to remove or just set the array? Let's just remove it. Remove item Do you think if I just plug this directly in there, it will know which one I'm talking about, or will it remove a random one? I think just to be safe, we will remove an index. And the index we want to remove is U. And that should probably work. I have to test that, but I don't want to tonight. I think I will sleep. Crop plot. Okay. One more thing I want to do. Interact with. I want to get the loading done at some point. I think I'm gonna change a lot of how this works. I mean, I've got it working, but I'm almost certainly going to change how this works. Yeah, 100%. But tonight, I think I'm gonna call it a night.